Pull up Karuturi Global. Let's just do a quick check as far as the stock is concerned. We've got the management to talk about what's going on in the company. On your screen, 13 odd rupees. The stock's off about 2.5% in trade. Mr. Sai Ramakrishna Karuturi is with us, founder and managing director of the company. Sir, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Run us through what's been happening. What are the latest developments at the company? We heard a lot about the land acquisitions in Africa. What's the status there? How much land is already under cultivation? Can you just give us the basic details first?
Well, we have indeed acquired a very large piece of agricultural land in Ethiopia, and we have started agricultural production from that. We did trail production last season, and this season we are going in with a larger area for production. We expect to have a little over 30,000 hectares under production for this financial year, and we're looking forward to tripling that capacity by next year to cover 100,000 hectares. We're going to largely do maize and rice. We have already done about 5,000 hectares of palm oil, and by next year we hope to finish about 20,000 hectares of palm oil. So yes, we are very, very gung-ho about our very ambitious agricultural project.
How much land do you own in Africa, sir?
Well, we have 765,000 acres of land in Ethiopia. We are also looking at some acquisitions in other parts of Africa. We finally want to cover about 3 million acres of land in East and Southern Africa. For the moment, we already have in our hand 765,000 acres in Ethiopia.
Just the basic rationale, straight out for investors, for viewers who are watching. What's the strategy? Why acquire so much land in Africa? Can you talk about that? What are the big markets that you're targeting? What are the sort of crops that you plan to cultivate? Just some details.
I can't really hear your question well, but I understand the gist of it. Well, the strategy behind our land acquisition is because we believe that the agricultural production, commercial agricultural production is a business with an enormous future, considering the demand-supply gap in food grains and increase in demand versus decline in production. Today we are sitting at one of the lowest levels of food stocks in the world, an all-time low of less than 67 days. Not too much of land is available for accretion to the existing production area in Asia and Latin America. So we are looking at East Africa and Africa to fill and bridge this gap, and that is the strategy that we are following over the last few years, which is to build a large commercial agricultural farming company which can produce a few million tons of rice and maize, and while filling the gap in demand supply can create value for its various stakeholders.
How do you plan to go about doing this? In terms of what you're cultivating right now, how is the business structured? Are the farming activities outsourced to companies there locally, or is it you yourself who've got people on the ground there?
Well, we do have a hybrid mix of both. We do have people on the ground. We are already a large agricultural production company producing roses for a while, a fairly intensive operation with over about 8,000 employees in our flower business, where we actually produce and grow and export our roses. In the agricultural production area, we have a mix of our own production staff, as well as we have outsourced a significant amount of our project planning and implementation to well-reputed companies from South Africa who are well-equipped in the commercial agricultural space, and we have tied up with world-reputed companies like John Deere for all our equipment needs. So it is both a mix of our own efforts as well as outsourced efforts.
Right. 4 to 5 years down the line, so how are you positioning how do you see the company actually panning out? Is it going to be commercial agricultural production? Will the rose production be the majority of the business as it is right now? How does one categorize a company like yourself, say 4 or 5 years down the line, once you've acquired the land that you're planning to in Africa, and so on and so forth?
Well, I believe that commercial agriculture and commercial agricultural production will increasingly be the focus of the company. In 3 to 4 years' time, I believe agricultural production will definitely comprise 75% of the top and bottom line of the company for sure. Increasingly, the flower business, while it continues to grow at a healthy clip and continues to have healthy margins, will have a diminishing role and influence on the overall top line and bottom line contributions for the company because of the rapid growths and investments we are making in the commercial agriculture space. Personally, I believe that in 5 years and 10 years' time, I would like to be seen and compared with peers such as Cargill or the Archer Daniels of the world or the Bungys of the world, who are all well-known, well-reputed commercial agricultural companies.
What is the debt in the books, sir, right now? How are you planning to fund a lot of this acquisition?
Well, the land acquisition has been completed. We have, as a matter of fact, acquired our land when the prices were very low. Relative to today's prices, I think our land bank is appreciated with a value of more than $150 million compared to what our peers are getting land today in Africa to what we have acquired the land for. So that part is already paid for from internal accruals. But for the ongoing developmental efforts, we do need a substantial amount of money. We are looking at close to about $200 million. Large portion of it is going to be raised this quarter, and some of it has already been raised in the previous quarter, both in the form of debt, quasi-debt and equity. We are looking at a raise of about $200 million this year to roll out our agri project.
Another $200 million this fiscal?
Sorry?
$200 million, you said, this fiscal?
Yes, $200 million is what we expect to raise. A large portion of it is going to be debt, which we have already tied down with multilateral agencies as well as commercial banks. So the last leg of raising a small amount of equity is expected to be completed very shortly.
All right, okay, fair enough. Good luck with your plans. Appreciate your time here on Profit.